Alright boys, it's been a little while, but we are back, and we're talking about Korvold. As a side note as well guys, at the end of the video, the last 3 minutes roughly, is a quick example of my deck that I'm running at the moment in my Korvold. Just so you guys get a heads up as well, nice and early in the video. Nice red wine when you put him on the battlefield. Because as soon as he enters the battlefield, as it says, the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold, and you get to draw a card. Now, if that's not milk, I don't know what is, because to me, that's like something that you wouldn't even read about it. It's that good of a card. Now, we are about to get stuck into the meat of things. There is a disclaimer, divert your eyes, because we are about to get real sweaty with this. Now, first I want to just start with the Streets of New Capenna. Some of the new cards that have come out there, they've been really good. And I see a lot of potential of some of them being added into potential Korvold decks that are being made at the moment. Now, when I made mine not long ago, I didn't really delve too deep into this until I was watching another video of someone else's who I saw in the comments someone asked anything in there from the Streets of New Capenna that you could add to the deck. And then I thought to myself, gee, that's actually a good idea. So I went looking around and I actually found some good cards in there. I mean, there was a few ones that have stood out to me. For example, I mean, to start with, Bootlegger's Stash. Now that's an absolute phenomenal card. As it says, it's an artifact, 6 mana, which isn't a bad thing. It is a lot of mana commitment, but Korvold's 5 mana. So turn 5 Korvold, turn 6 you play Bootlegger's Stash. Bang, straight away, lands you control, you tap it, create a treasure token. Now that's just a little bit of value, it gives you options. You don't have to tap all your mana base to create those treasure tokens, but then those treasure tokens allow you to sack them to add 1 mana of any color. You draw a card of Korvold, giving him +1/+1. Then you can smack in, if you have 6 lands, tap all 6, create 6 treasure tokens, draw 6 cards, give 6 +1/+1s, attack in, slam someone in the face, and give them commander damage. And now if they're already on a couple of commander damage as it is, that extra 6 on top of whatever your Korvold might be sitting at is going to be some huge, incredible damage. It's just something, it's one of those cards that you could easily overlook for 6 mana. But to be able to have that access to be able to tap a land, create it for a treasure token, it's just gives you multiple scenarios of what you could do with it. In my opinion. So you definitely have the potential to pop off with that on the field. Fake your own death. Now this was a card that definitely did stand out. It was definitely a crowd pleaser. It was definitely something that is going to get a lot of use in this deck. Now what it does until end of turn, it's an instant, mind you. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner control, and you create a treasure token. Which is just fantastic, because you're getting 2 birds in 1 stone. Now people are going to be wanting to remove your commander as soon as possible. I know it is 2 mana, right? It is a bit of an investment, but you hold that 2 mana open if you have possible. Or if say you have 2 treasure tokens available with Korvold out, you crack those 2 treasure tokens, reply and response, putting this under Korvold. Korvold dies, this comes back, brings Korvold back, and you get another treasure token, which is going to draw you another card. So it's effectively saying you get to keep Korvold and you get to draw a card and have a treasure token because of that. You draw a card because of the treasure token. Ticks all the boxes, really does everything you want to be doing in this sort of deck. And I wouldn't say that this card is overpowered enough where it's going to be fitting into, C EDH. But if you want to make your deck like a solid 8 out of 10, 7, 8 out of 10, this fits right in. You could definitely find a spot for this. 2 mana, nice and easy to use. You can always have 2 mana open. You're more than likely going to have 2 treasure tokens as well available once Korvold's out. It's just great to have as a response to keep Korvold alive, because most decks of Korvold, they do kind of function with him keep running, so you don't want him to disappear anytime soon. So I think this is going to be a great addition. Add this guys in if you haven't, because I think you're going to see a lot of improvement in your gameplay. Now, following off of Fake Your Own Death, we're going to go straight in Zeatora the Incinerator. Now this card, 3 colorless, black, red, green, 6 mana, you play it after Korvold, Fantastic. You got flying on it as well. It's a 6/6. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, Zeotora the Incinerator deals damage equal to the creature's power to any target, and you create 3 treasure tokens. A big massive 3 there, which is really important to note. So you're creating 3 treasure tokens, and the beautiful thing about it, the key word here that makes it really nice and fits in beautifully with this deck, you may sacrifice another creature. So if you create this, you have it there, it's an option, you may sacrifice another creature. You might have something there, you have a few tokens, you know, some 1/1s, 0/1s, sacrifice those to this, you create 3 treasure tokens, and you can deal damage equal to its power to any target. So you can ping stuff down with it if you want to. You can even sacrifice Korvold at the end if he's a 30/30 and just kill someone with it on your end step. So you can kill 2 people, swing in with Korvold, kill 1 person with commander damage, sack him, kill someone else, create 3 treasure tokens. You're laughing. I mean, either way, you're creating 3 treasure tokens well into your end step. At least then that gives you, you know that you can fully tap out through your whole turn to do what you need to do in order to draw the cards, help yourself set your board up, keep Korvold alive, maybe get some synergy going. Then on the end step, you can then sacrifice one of those creatures that you have set up. Bang, you get 3 treasure tokens as well. You can draw a card because you sacrifice, so you're getting more fuel and gas in your hand. And then you got those 3 treasure tokens open in case you need a beast within someone or anything of those sorts. You know, heroic intervention, another couple of cards that would be fitting greatly with this. The next card that we're going to talk about is Big Score. Now this is 3 colorless and a red. As an additional cost of this cast, this spell, discard a card from your hand, draw 2 cards, create 2 treasure tokens. Now, I know it's 4 mana, it is a commitment. It's not something that's going to be a big standout in when you're starting to really fine-tune the deck, but this goes great. You know, no matter what, you're going to get value out of this. You discard a card, discard a land, you have plenty of reasons to bring lands back from your graveyard, draw 2 cards, create 2 treasure tokens. So you're effectively drawing 4 cards, and because you're getting the 2 treasure tokens, that's netting you 2 extra mana. So you can minus 2 from that. So effectively you're paying 2 mana, right? Whatever. I know that doesn't look that good, but 2 mana to draw 4 cards. Especially with Korvold out. Even without Korvold out, you get the 2 treasures, you're paying 2 mana, you're netting 2 mana from the treasure tokens, and you're drawing 2 cards. Great. Yeah, I know you're discarding a card, so technically you minus 1 from that, but you're still coming out very far ahead because you've got plenty of ways to have incursion, to recurse something. Maybe you want to put a big CMC creature into your grave card just to reanimate too. It kind of fixes everything. It's doing everything you want in a Korvold deck that you need. Would highly recommend putting this in. If you're looking to really fine-tune the deck, a great thing about it is instant, but then you're going to be holding up 4 mana. So it wouldn't be too bad to do maybe the turn before you play Korvold. So you discard a card, draw 2 cards, create 2 treasure tokens. Then, once you hit your turn 5, you have 2 treasure tokens ready, play Korvold. You can either sack a treasure token to Korvold, and then sack another treasure token, netting you 1 mana on that next turn to draw you another card. So you will draw 2 cards that turn. It really does show a lot of potential and synergy with Korvold. I wouldn't look past it. Definitely throw that one in. Bank for your buck. It's only going for around Card Kingdom. They're selling it. They're going on for about 44 cents to $1 at most. Great card to throw in. Budget as well. The next one will be Prize Fight. Now the reason why I thought this could be good is because you're adding so many +1/+1s to Korvold. And then you can pay 2 instant, right? Use 2 treasure tokens to crack them if you need to, if you're in that position. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So Korvold normally it's going to be minimum a 5/5, 6/6 at the least, always X amount above, and you're creating a treasure token as well. So you get, if someone plays their commander or something big that you need to kill, someone's going to hit you with Gishath and your Korvold is at 12/12, 14/14, etc. Play this, as soon as he declares attacks, you then respond, play Prize Fight, you're creating a treasure token and you're killing his creature, keeping Korvold alive. And then you can sack that treasure token later on to draw a card. Good value, 2 mana. I would definitely recommend it if you're going to put it in there. Now this has got to be one of my most favourite cards out of the bunch. Black Market Tycoon. 1 red, 1 green. At the beginning of your upkeep, Black Market Tycoon deals 2 damage to you for each treasure you control. You tap it, create a treasure token. Fantastic. Every turn, tap it, create a treasure token, tap it, create a treasure token. It is slow, nothing too crazy there. But the best thing is it's something that you can use as a sack outlet. You can tap it, create a treasure token, attack with Korvold, sack him if you want to, or sack the treasure token. Either way, you're drawing a card, you're creating yourself mana. You're tapping it, trade a treasure token, draw a card. I think it's great. I think it's good value. You do get synergy for 2 mana. It works fine. It does have its place. I definitely would only be putting that in probably decks that you'd probably put around a 7 out of 10 in. If you're looking to make it a bit more competitive than that, probably wouldn't consider it. But 7 or below definitely fits in there. You can have a bit of fun with it. It's gonna prevent your deck from being too overpowered and people hating you for playing Korvold. That's why I would throw it in. It's great. It's a great little buffer. Now we've got Little Tricky Sticky Fingers. Enchantment Aura. Now enchanted creature has Menace. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. When enchanted creature dies, you get to draw a card. So, just great. You put that underneath Korvold when you play him. If it dies, okay, you get to draw a card. Fantastic. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. And it's got Menace now. So you're not only giving Menace to Korvold, making it even hard enough as it is to block the flyer that it is, but you need 2 flying creatures or 2 creatures with reach to block Korvold now. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be doing combat damage to someone's face anyway. So you're creating free treasure tokens. That's drawing you a card when you crack it to be able to get more options and see where you can move on from there. And if Korvold does die, you're getting a draw a card. It's only 1 red mana. I think it's fine. I think it's great. Definitely would recommend it. As always, look at him. He's taken all the gold off everyone. Why not give yourself some gold while you're at it? Okay, now moving on to the last segment is the lands. Now lands are always important. They're what's going to round off your deck. They're what's going to make sure that everything's running smoothly and how you want it to. The first one that I picked out was Ziotoro's Proving Grounds. Now this is your basic land. Oh, I shouldn't say basic land, but it's a land that counts as a swamp, mountain, or forest. Beautiful. Any fetch lands you got in your deck, you crack them. You're drawing a card off Korvold. You get to find this as well, put it onto the battlefield. Yes, it enters tapped. That's fine though, because you're still getting access to all 3 colors that are necessary, and it also has cycling on it too. So if you get it at some point in the game and you've got a lot of mana that you just need to draw a card, you can always cycle it as well. Has a lot of potential, a lot of synergy with all the fetch lands you're going to be using. The cycling. The only negative thing, it enters tapped, but if it didn't, this card would be absolutely outrageous. So I'm glad it is tapped. It does enter battlefield tapped, because otherwise it would be another 40, 50, like $30, $40 land that would have to be added into these sort of decks, which I'm just not really willing to pay for right now. So for the third and final card is Riveteer's Overlook. When Riveteer's Overlook enters the battlefield, sacrifice it. When you do, search your library for a basic swamp, mountain, or forest card, put it onto a battlefield tapped, then shuffle, and you gain 1 life. Beautiful. Gives you the Korvold trigger, gives you another land, does the same thing as Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse, ticks all the boxes. Again, you're going to throw it in. It's cheap, 35 to 50 cents a card on Card Kingdom. Nice and easy to grab. Just something worth noting and throwing in there, because you're always going to be sacking permanents, you're going to be drawing cards. Why not have your lands do it too and give you a bit of that extra gas when you need it? So to wrap up the video, I wanted to just show my current state of my Korvold deck, which has a few synergies in there in my own way that I haven't actually added those new cards from New Streets of Capenna into it as of yet. I will definitely be making some of those additions, but here you got, like, I've got Witch's Oven in there, Swiftfoot Boots, gain Hexproof and Haste as well for Korvold. You got Mana Crypt, Ashnod's Altar, Sack Outlets, Academy Manufacturer, which is definitely something that nearly every Korvold deck should have. Every time you create a token, whether it's a food, clue, or treasure token, you create one of each instead. Great value. Revel in Riches, you're creating a lot of treasure tokens, so why not have that small wink on there? And it also forces people to decide, do I kill Korvold or do I kill Revel in Riches to stop him from winning the game? Either way, you're probably going to win the game with either of them on the battlefield, so you're pretty fine there. You got a lot of nice little Birds of Paradise, give you a bit of mana. Blood Artist, Chatterfang, Squirrel General, probably the best, one of the best cards in the deck in terms of synergy. Anytime I create a token, create that many 1/1 Skrill tokens as well, creature tokens. So, and you pay 1 black mana, sacrifice X Skrills, target creature gets plus X minus X till end of turn. It's Ripper. It's really good. You can just infinitely sack creatures to it, and you can sacrifice X Skrills as well. So you can pay 1 black to sacrifice 5 Skrills, for example, and give something minus X, killing it. So you can kind of infinitely kill the board. If you've got this out, and you've got its Pitiless Plunderer, this, whenever a creature dies, whenever a creature you control dies, create a colorless treasure artifact token. And whenever you're creating a token, you're creating a treasure token which you can sack then to pay the 1 mana to then draw another one. So it's almost an infinite loop. It is an infinite loop of creating 1/1 Skrills, creating treasure token, use that treasure token to then activate the ability, which then sacrifices a treasure, your Skrill, which then triggers Pitiless Plunderer once again, and you just keep infinitely doing that. You can clear the whole board. It's a board wipe in its own way, but it's literally like a kill everyone else's creatures, buff your own Korvold up to 1,000,000 and kill someone instantly. Because Korvold negates the -1 for every time a permanent sacrifice, he gets +1/+1. So you're effectively giving it +2/+0 for every time you sacrifice and buff Korvold, which is also really good. I got Veil of Summer in there in case you need to give everything hexproof, and you can also draw a card if someone's casting a blue or black spell that turn. Just great, 1 mana, draw a card, counter if someone's trying to target Korvold, bang, negates it. You're in safe hands. You got Return of the Wild Speaker, draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control. Huge card draw there on Korvold. I'll list the deck in the comments in the description below, so that way you guys can have a look at it and see what you guys think about it yourselves. But that's pretty much my wrap up of Korvold himself. Very, very strong commander. I'm having a lot of fun playing it. I hope you guys too, and you can take away something from that. If you guys feel there was something I missed or something I've misread, feel free to drop a comment. I'll get back onto it. I'll update the video. And if you guys like this sort of content, I know I was doing my Age of Empires before this, but let me know, because I love Magic the Gathering, and I'd love to make a few more videos on it as I go. Maybe I'll come back to Age of Empires as well at some point, or throw some different content out there. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think. Alright, thanks guys.